Hi, everybody. I'm Deacon Dave.
And I'm Diamond Debbie.
And I'm layperson Lisa.
Welcome to the Deacon Dave and layperson Lisa show with special guest Diamond Debbie.
Yes.
And
yes,
we are
I am of that.
Where are we at, ladies?
In the pools of
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Next to St. Anne's Church, which is the birthplace of Mary.
Right. And I'm really surprised that this place is not like crawling with people. You know, it's busy, but it's not like crazy busy like the Holy Sepulchre or Bethlehem. But with the devotion that, you know, we have to Mary in our Catholic faith, I kind of thought there would be more people, maybe just because it's late in the afternoon. What do y'all think?
There's a second site we passed that was a church, another church that said it was the birthplace of Mary. So maybe it's split.
Right.
Depending on your religion.
So the acoustics here are amazing inside the church. So we sang Hail Mary, or Gentle Woman, yes, in the church. Monsignor led us in that again, and that was really quite beautiful to be able to do that in the church. And what did y'all think about this site, ladies? What was the what happened? What was the miracle here that happened in the pool?
The paralytic who's been there for like 25 or 38 years. I don't remember.
38 years.
Is this the one where the water would bubble up?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he could never get in there fast enough because the first person to touch the water, right?
Would be healed.
Would be the one that was healed. And then Jesus came along
and said, grab your mat and get up and walk.
And that's what he did. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes we need to do the same thing. It's easy for us to get down on ourselves, to isolate, right? And to not want to deal with the things of life that we need to deal with. And Jesus is telling us to pick up our mat and walk and continue to live in joy because we have eternal hope in his son. What other things kind of touched y'all about this site, ladies?
Well, I thought that, the man showed a whole lot of faith because he attempted to do something he couldn't do before. And that's what kind of we're learning through the healing prayer is that we ask people to step out in faith and do something they couldn't do before. So I thought the paralytic was a great example of that.
What about you, Debbie?
Oh gosh, you caught me on the spot. What hits me is that Mary was born here. Mary is, I have a special connection and devotion to Mary, and it's very spiritual to me to be in the place that she was born.
Yeah, we actually have a St. Anne with Mary statue at the retreat center. So as you walk into our chapel area and you look to the back right-hand corner as you walk in, you will see a picture of Mary as a little girl, right, along with St. Anne. So
a picture, a sculpture.
I mean, a sculpture. Exactly, like Lisa said, a statue of that. And so what about Joachim? Not a whole lot being said here about Joachim?
Nope. I think he was a priest.
Okay.
But that's all I know about him.
Yes, us poor guys, we're always getting left out of these things, except for Jesus, of course. He gets included in everything else. So these pools are really huge, aren't they?
Yes.
They are like the one that
very
I looked
deep.
At, like 30 by 60 meters or something crazy like that. So that's like 180 by 250 feet.
Sam and I took some steps like way down, and it's like huge.
Yeah, so like 100 by 200 feet, just to give you some perspective, which is absolutely insane how big that is. But I wonder how far away he was from the water to where and you can imagine how many people were here, right, waiting to touch that water to be healed.
Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking about, all the people who would just come here to be healed.
Well, look, here's AJ, everybody.
All
She's
right.
coming into our podcast. Here comes AJ. Hi, AJ.
AJ from the Grace and Suffering podcast.
Right, joining us. Come on in a little bit, AJ. So, AJ, what are your thoughts on this site?
I guess I should have prepared since I walked over here.
Right.
It's a lot.
Okay.
The healing and I guess I'm a little taken aback about just how far they had to come to get down to the pool.
Right.
And now all of a sudden the degree of assistance that one would have needed to get down in there is even greater. And then as far as St. Anne, that's kind of who it all started with in a way. If it weren't for St. Anne and Joachim, there wouldn't be Mary and therefore Jesus. So.
Right, and I think a lot of people sometimes get confused with the Immaculate Conception, right? And they think about Jesus, but really it was Mary that was immaculately conceived, right? And so that was the plan all along, that she would be immaculately conceived without sin, so that she could be the perfect tabernacle, if you will, to carry Jesus in her womb. And in fact, the church didn't make that an official teaching until, I think it was 1854, if I'm thinking correctly.
It was relatively recent.
Yeah, so in the last less than 200 years, the church
I forget what Pope declared it.
has made that. But and here's the thing about that, okay? the church has always believed, okay, that Mary was immaculately conceived. It just never needed to clarify or put that in
The
writing.
doctrine.
Right. And so I guess when people start to question things, then the church puts it in official writing. So that's why you see the Nicene Creed, which comes from the Apostles' Creed. So you have all of these things where there's further clarification as to what we believe and have always believed. In fact, I was talking to Monsignor today as we were leaving the Garden of Gethsemane.
Which we have to talk about on another podcast.
Right, which we were going to do a podcast, but Lisa was in deep
Deep
prayer.
prayer, yeah.
And so I dare not talk to her while she was doing that as I walked by. But Monsignor said tradition in the church is really important with a capital T, because we've passed down much of this, our beliefs are by word of mouth. And so it's not just by scripture alone. Monsignor said it's not sola scriptura. Sorry,
You're talking, so you should turn the camera.
Oh, well, that's okay. I don't want to take it away. Y'all are much better looking than me.
We also have
So-
the pigeons as the audience.
Right, we do have pigeons as an audience in case you want to see that as well. We have everything. But yeah, it's not just sola scriptura, but it's actually the fact that we have, y'all are distracting me. Sorry,
We're
I
listening.
lost my thought.
Sola Scriptura.
But the tradition that's been passed on by word of mouth for years and years, which is really very, very important. So any other thoughts from this beautiful location down here in the lower levels of the pools?
I just think it's amazing to be at all these places where all these people were healed just throughout our pilgrimage so far.
That's beautiful.
Prayers for healing of those back home.
Very nice, Debbie.
Thankful and grateful.
All right. I'm Deacon Dave.
Lisa.
And Diamond Debbie.
And
And Diamond Debbie.
And
And AJ.
AJ.
awesome AJ.
our grace and
Awesome.
suffering
Yes,
AJ.
awesome AJ.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.